Hello.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
Very good. No complaints.
Good. So if you can share with us when you first came to see me, what you saw me for, and if you could just share how you were feeling at the time, and then we'll kind of move forward to more recently.
Okay. When I came to see you for the first time, I felt kind of, bad or disorientated, or I don't know the right way to say it, but I was having nightmares. I really didn't sleep, and just all sorts of everything seemed to be coming back to life.
Yeah, and to give people some background, you were sent to me by a guy who sends me people who were seen in like the Vietnam War. So you served in the Vietnam War, the infantry unit in the '60s, right? And so I think that's so. I just want to give people background as what happened in the past, which because I diagnosed you with PTSD. You saw some pretty horrible things when you were there, and you experienced a lot of difficult circumstances, right?
Yes, I went in. I actually went to Vietnam in February of '67.
Okay.
And probably within the first month is when everything started to take place over there for me. The first thing that happened is we went on Hill 861 in March, and that's where I got wounded on. But it was quite a day. I mean, it was started out early in the morning. It didn't end until the next morning. There was like 16 of the other Marines got killed, and there was 23 wounded that day. And you see a lot of different things that at the time they really didn't disturb me. I think they kind of bothered me, but it didn't really disturb me. I mean, they dropped napalm so close, you could feel the heat. You could see the enemy running. They were on fire from the napalm. And it was the start of my 13-month tour in country. And then from there, everything just kind of seemed to be a battle every day that we went through. I mean, we went on several operations. We used to go on patrols during the day, and one of the things is Operation Kingfisher. We went on, and there was a lot of people got killed. It was a whole battalion-sized operation. The company that I was with, we were one of the first ones to get out of there, so we had to set everything up to take all the wounded and make sure we got a medevac, and then we laid out all the ones that got killed and actually put them in body bags. And as the time went on, it only got worse because some of them that we were bringing out, they had got tortured, or their limbs were cut off, and different things in that. So, I mean, that's the way it was the whole time I was over there. There was really not any day that was good. Every day was okay, and you got to accept it that the way it was. And the way I feel now about it really was not the way I felt back then about it, because you're really kind of numb, and it was just the way you felt. And plus, you were 18 years old. So that's where we wound up, and I've been dealing with this for a long time. And the fella that helped me he's the one that had sent me to your office to see if you guys could help me at all. So,
yeah.
Do you?
Well, I mean, it was a pleasure to see you, and it was very moving. I'm getting kind of choked up right now thinking about it and talking to you, because it's difficult. Because I've seen a lot of people from Vietnam, and the stories I've heard, like yours, are just horrific. And I've heard some stories. I don't want to even say it right now because it's so bad, and I think there may be children watching this. So I don't know if I want to say some of the things that people have told me that have just been horrific, and
No, and the sad thing about this is I've been married 54 years, and in the short time that I've known you, I probably told you more about what happened than I did to her. So I don't know if that's fair to her or not.
Well, it's just hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how many years later, already 50 some years later, and you're still affected. So the scars run deep. You know, like you said, I hear it a lot of time. You kind of numb over there. You're always kind of feeling like you see so many people dying. You're always feeling like I could easily be the next one. I could, I don't know if I'm going to live through this today, and just you get numb to it because there's nothing else you can do. You're stuck there. All you can do is try to stay alive and not get captured. Because if you get captured, it can be not good at all.
Nothing.
Yeah, and you told me you were having some flashbacks and you were having nightmares and and there was also you had mentioned, I think your wife was with you too, and your wife had also said that you get very suspicious, that you have to have your back against the wall, and you kind of when some you have to see what's around you at all times, and is that do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that's even standard procedure. The other day we stopped for lunch, and she sat down, and I told her, I said, I hate Titus, but you have to move because I can't sit in the seat that you left for me. Because I'm always aware of what I want to be aware of what's going on. For what reason, I really don't know, but I just don't have a comfortable feeling if I can't observe everything that's going on, and it's I don't know, and it's been that way, truthfully, ever since I got out of the service.
Well, because you're still back in Vietnam, and you're still, part of you is still there and never left, and and
even the same thing as time went on, all these years, when we did go somewhere, whether it was a family function or whatever it might have been, I strayed away from everybody and just went to a completely different part of the house or the yard where nobody was, and I just didn't want to deal with all the people in that. And I mean, even coming back from Vietnam, it was terrible. I mean, the welcome that I got, or everybody got coming home, it was just, even to this day, I think there's some people that still resent it, but they're, trying to be a little bit more polite about it.
Right. I talked to a vet who he had one of his fellow, soldiers had opened up his wallet and showed him some ears that he had collected, chopped off ears, and that vision stuck with him, and he never told anybody about this stuff. And then his wife had gotten some kind of gift basket that has those, dried kind of peaches and, fruit and stuff. And and he said he saw that, and it took him back because it reminded him of those ears, and he ran away and closed the door and told her, yell at her to get rid of that basket. I don't want to see that again. And he said she didn't question it, and she goes she never asked me about it. I never told her anything about it after that. It's one of the things that she said. I don't want to talk to her about this, And they've been married again 50 some years also, so and you were having a lot of the anxiousness, depression. You were having like headaches, muscle tension. Weren't you having like headaches and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I've had the headaches all along.
Right.
And whatever you did, they subsided. I really don't have any headaches anymore. Mm-hmm. The tension is almost completely gone. I don't really have any outbursts with my wife or anything, on certain things that before, I mean, I could just get all bent out of shape about whatever. And now everything's kind of subsided. It's kind of like at a level point in my life. I really haven't felt the way I have right now for a long time.
And I simply put you on the lowest dose of Pristiq, and I think if anyone's been watching my show, they know what a fan I am of this medication. It's the number one thing I prescribe in my practice, and I put you on the lowest dose, 25 milligram, and you responded so quickly. So I didn't even increase the dose, or I might have, but I might have lowered it back down again. And your sleep. I was going to put you on a medication called Pristiq. And doctors know Pristiq. It's actually a mild blood pressure medication, but they know it because it really helps with nightmares and flashbacks. But I was going to start you on it, but the Pristiq actually got rid of the nightmares and flashbacks, and you start sleeping better. So I decided not to add that and at the end. And then you're on just the one medication, and the results were dramatic. And I've only seen you for 2 visits. But again, what it's doing, it's rebalancing a couple chemicals in your nervous system. And so what it's doing is it's restoring the balance that you had once had in your life, probably prior to Vietnam and the exposure, because, these things are caused by either genetics, but the other thing, the reason these imbalances happen is from trauma. And so with PTSD, it shocks the body and it shocks the nervous system to the point where certain chemicals go out of balance. And in your case, it was just the two neurochemicals, serotonin and norepinephrine. And all Pristiq is doing is attaching to the cells and forcing these chemicals to normalize. And so that's why you're feeling better. And I'm going to keep you on it. There's no reason to go off of it. It's not dangerous. It's not addictive. And so you're going to just have to, you're going to stay on it, and you're going to continue the rest of your life, I think, feeling better. It shouldn't wear off. And if it ever does, we can increase the dose, we can do something else. But I have a strong feeling because your headaches went away, your sleep, everything that you had was better. And so, and this is the real you, and it doesn't mean that things aren't going to affect you still. It doesn't mean that even like talking about this isn't going to bring back emotion. These aren't meant to blunt emotion at all. They're not meant to make you feel apathetic about things that were traumatic in the past. It just, your body is now able to handle it better, and you're more in control now, where your body's not controlling you anymore. So
and it is a little easier to talk about it,
right,
as opposed to before. I mean, like you said, what you just said is correct.
Mm-hmm.
In the sleep, I was averaging maybe 2 to 4 hours at the most. Now, some days I sleep anywhere from 8 to 10 hours.
That sounds great.
Get up once to go to the bathroom, and that's it. But the real thing is, I could fall back asleep again right away. I don't have anything to lay there and think about. I don't know where that went. I don't know if, like you say, this Pristiq has anything to. I'm sure it has something to do with it.
Oh yeah, it does, all of it.
Yeah, just, there's nothing there for me to lay awake and think about, or kind of flashback to that.
I mean, a lot of people get up in the middle of the night and you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or whatever, but sometimes if your mind starts going, it's hard to shut back down again. But now that your body is more at peace because of taking this, it putting your body at peace, now you're going to be able to much more easily get back to sleep, and now you're going to be able to enjoy your retirement more because you're going to have more energy now. You're going to be able to get doing more things and be more active now that you're sleeping better, and so.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you and your wife and your lovely wife, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.